We're at SEMA putting decals on our GT40, which is going to run OPTIMA Streetcar Challenge in the GTR class. First year for the GTR class. So I'll be curious to see how the car does and see what kind of reaction we get. It's been a long day. We've been up since 2 a.m. Eastern time.
What day is it today?
Yes. What? No. Today is Monday. SEMA starts tomorrow. Big reveal for other GT40 tomorrow, which should be pretty exciting, but it's been a long day. I'll be glad when this one's over. First day of SEMA show. Doors just opened a few minutes ago, but we're going to give you a quick walk around before it gets too crowded here at the booth. We're going to start with our bread and butter, the Superformance Mark III Cobra. And this is a car that you should pay close attention to, because this is our car we sell more than anything of, and we brought it here in its roller form. And this is how we get it from the factory. No engine, no transmission, but everything else is done, which is usually the big question we got to get over is, what am I getting? This is what you're getting. The car's already painted, it's already wired, it's already plumbed, wheels and tires all come with it. And then from there, the customer can customize it with any color they want to do, anything they want to do from there. Mark IIIR is a 427 Cobra as well, but it's got a lot of modern touches. It's more of that pro touring vibe that we're seeing a lot of our cars go to these days. We did that with our Ken Miles car. We've been doing that with a lot of other vehicles. So this one comes with the factory from a lot of modern touches on it. The front chin spoiler, the vented bodies front and rear, no chrome on these cars, all blacked out, and then with modern gauges. And then power plant wise with both of these vehicles, we can put just about anything into them. We can do a small block Ford, you can do a big block Ford, and you can do a modern Coyote motor, which is becoming real popular as well. So the Cobra that started everything, the Cobra that started it all, the car that Carol brought over from England as the AC. And then this is the 289 slab side. It is a little smaller, a little narrower than the 427. We use 289 or 302 base motors in it, mostly 302s because you can get a lot of crate engines with that. But this is your basic Cobra. There's no hood scoops. They are optional, but the vast majority of people, no hood scoop, no roll bar, wire wheels, full bumpers, things of that nature. More of an elegant gentleman's car is kind of how we term. But as all things with Shelby, Carol took this car and he started to race it. So what do you got to do to go racing? Well, you make it wider. So what we see here is the 289 slab side evolution into the 289 FIA. The FIA, you can start to see some of the 427 styling coming into the rear flares here. Got flares on the front to get a little bit wider tire, and then the exhaust comes out underneath the car right in front of the rear tires instead of out the back like it does on the 289. The gauges on the FIA are kind of unique. They're basically orientated for strictly racing. Even the speedometer, which is put in as an afterthought, is over on the passenger side. Roll bar is standard on the 289s, and this is basically the way they race the car. It's a great vehicle. It's one of the sweethearts, I think, of the lineup. I enjoy driving one of these FIA cars almost more than anything that we have. So as we keep moving around the booth, one of the other vehicles we brought is one of our Daytona Coupes. These are fully licensed by Shelby. They're giving us CSX VIN numbers. These are CSX 9000 series, and it's a great vehicle. We see a lot of Cobra owners. They get out of their Cobras or they get into a Daytona Coupe or even a Corvette or a GT40. They want air conditioning, they want a hard top and stuff like that, and that's essentially what this is. You're looking at the Cobra Coupe. Great driving vehicle, has its own unique chassis, air conditioning, things like that are all standard with any of our closed top cars, and this is a great evolution into stepping in from our entry level, say like the Mark III. Superformance obviously very well known for our Cobras, but the other thing that we're extremely well known for is our GT40s. We make 3 models of the GT40, the Mark I, the Mark I extra wide body, which is a 69 Le Mans spec, and then the Mark II, which we've got one over here, but we'll show you that a little later. And then this is one of our very unique cars. We call this a tool room car. This is almost an exact copy of 1075, the car that won Le Mans. There's no air conditioning. There is no creature comforts really to it. It is for the guy who really wants 100% authentic feel to a GT40. The car is even FIA legal, so it's really trying to throw it back. We try to make these as unique as possible, but also you can go as retro and as original as possible. So it's a nice thing about our chassis. They're very versatile. and a customer can really order whatever they're looking for. So we're obviously very well known for our Ford products, from the Cobras to the GT40s to the Daytona Coupe. But one of the things that we make, and we make a lot of them, they're starting to come on strong here in the last couple of years, is one of the cars we're not that well known for, and that's the 63 Corvette Grand Sport. But it's got the same kind of racing pedigree and history. They actually created this car in response to the Cobra. General Motors getting their butts handed to them out on the racetrack, so they tried to come up with what they called the lightweight. They made 5 original cars back in the 60s, and then we've actually been licensed by General Motors to continue production on these cars and produce them. So they're fully licensed by GM, and they are 7/8 scale just like the original cars, and they carry the original setup on it. So again, but this still goes into that pro touring mentality. We get a lot of customers who get this, but they go LS power on them. But you can still do the original small block setup. You can put a big block in it, but by far LS modern LT power packages are most popular for our Corvettes. Alright, so this is something I'm really proud of. Last year we debuted the Ken Miles GT40, which is the first Daytona edition ever done. This year we're unveiling another unique GT40. It's never been seen before, but the really cool thing about this, I'm really excited about, the original driver who drove the car in the 60s is here today, and he's gonna be here for the unveiling. So I'm very nervous and excited at the same time about this. So this is going to be a unique car, a unique build that's never been seen. This livery has not been seen since 1966.
Dan Long from Downforce Motors. This was his idea, his inspiration to do the car for us, and he'll tell you a little more about it.
Mario, thank you very much for coming. This was a year in the making of putting this car together. This is a car to commemorate Mario's first trip to Le Mans in '66. This paint scheme has not been seen since then. From there, we'll just go ahead and pull it off and take a look at it and see what you think. So this is the number 6 Holman Moody car that Mario piloted at Le Mans in '66. I even went as far as to make sure that we got the right Firestone tires on there for you, Mario. And then this car is powered by something a little bit more unique than the big motor that you had. This has a dual overhead cam 5.2 modern engine in it from Ford. Mario, if you would be kind enough, I'd be honored if you would sign the dash over there on that passenger side on the left side.
Round of applause for the great Mario Andretti, reunited with that racing livery from 1966. Come on.
Gonna do a fast pit stop.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mario.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
As with everything with SEMA, you get real nervous, you get real freaked out, and then it all just kind of comes together at the end. And having a guy like Mario here was a huge honor to see him get his reaction to the car, and it's something I've been working on for over a year. So it's really cool. I'm very, very excited. Got it.
Thank you again, Mario.
Now we're in the North Hall for Battle of the Builders, because the car has been awarded into the top 40 of Battle of the Builders, which is kind of surprising because the SEMA quality of the builds here is extremely high. So who knows what's going to happen, but we'll see. As we're getting ready to make our first speed stop challenge run. It's chilly, it's really windy, and there's I think a lot of rubber on the track, but we'll see what we can do. I'm curious. And we gotta wind it up. We're a top end car. Yep. We'll get there.
1 minute, 1 minute.
How'd you like it, huh?
Well, it was a lot of fun, but like with every speed stop challenge and all across, we don't have the right engine package for it, but we will next year.
Oh, are we talking about it?
Oh yeah, we'll have the next one up for next year.
Are we going to tell the internet what it is?
No, the internet can find out later.
It sounds really good.
Yeah, I will say that I probably will win the contest for best sounding exhaust system.
I would agree. How was it, Bob?
It was great. It was what a blast, you know. The car's awesome, the driver sucks, but it was still a lot of fun.
I got the shot of you coming in on this side.
Sideways?
Sideways, finish sideways. That was good.
That's cool.
How's everybody doing out there? My name is Jimmy Day, and I'm the Chief Steward and Competition Director for the Ultimate Streetcar Association. This is our official awards ceremony for the Ultimate Streetcar Association, and this is where we take an opportunity to recognize all of our national champions. I'm going to accept this award on behalf of Dan Long. Dan, I don't know for how many of you know that he unveiled a Mario Andretti GT40 at SEMA. It also made the Battle of the Builders top 40 list. He's actually in there attempting to sell that right now. Somebody came to him and said, I must have it. And he called me and said, I'm not sure I'm going to make the award ceremony. I said, dude, it's worth more money to sell that car. GTR class, that is our replica class. And winning that class with 1,000 points, Dan Long in the 1966 Superformance GTR.
So I went over to the OPTIMA Batteries.
What did they say? Well, I called Jimmy. I said, listen, I got a guy coming to buy this thing. I said, and we've got a good price on it, so I think that's probably a little bit more important than getting my trophy. Also, I really want to be there for my trophy. This motor is a derivative off of what we tested in the Ken Miles car. So one of the selling points was watching the Ken Miles car do the speed stop challenge yesterday, and then like a lot of guys who buy these things, you know, they want people to think it's cool, and when he saw the reaction that the crowd gave with that car on track, that was kind of one of the final selling points. And then he also listened to the entire D&E spiel. I hate to see it go. I'd always planned to sell it. But the problem is, the more I was around it, and the more I looked at that front end especially, I'm like, this thing's really cool. The Ken Miles car is signed by his son.
No, they didn't.
Mario's one of the few drivers who's still around. So this car is actually signed by the driver himself. So to me, it makes it really unique and really special. And it's the second car of 3 cars we're doing with the VIN numbers that are matched up. So the matching VIN numbers was an idea I came up with because we were coming into the 2400 series of our VINs. And I thought, well, this is a unique opportunity to do match up a few of these unique vehicles. 24 for the 24-hour race they raced in, the Daytona race with the Ken Miles car, the Le Mans race with this car, and then use the last 2 numbers from their original chassis and match it up. So this one's 2431 and Mario's car was 1031. So that's when, and it seems to really gravitate to people. People really like that little bit of tie-in, you know, and makes it that much more unique. The last day of SEMA. It's been really good. I've been walking a lot. Actually looked at my pedometer, 22.7 miles in the last 4 days between the booth and the Optima track. So my feet are tired, my back is tired, although it's been a great show. The debut of the first Mario Andretti GT40 went extremely well. Mario signed the car. I couldn't be more excited. The guys on my team are closing some deals, getting customers into our vehicles, and that's always exciting. So I'm really happy that we're going to bring more people into our Downforce family, get more vehicles out there, and have a lot of fun. So we'll see you at the track on Saturday, and then stay tuned for what we put together for next year.
Yeah. tomorrow morning will be fun.
Yeah, tomorrow morning should be a good time.
You want to give me some final thoughts here?
Final thoughts is despite some little mishaps on the rear end here from not pinning the clamshell, car's in one piece, ran good on the last session. I'm happy. We're gonna make some revisions to a new car next year and we'll be back at it with that. So all in all, I'm happy. Great week, great weekend. Anytime you can get on track with one of these things, it's always awesome. So I'm happy.